I really need to stop talking about shit.
No, keep going. It's entertaining.
It's fine. People like it. It's the one.
My
thing
friends,
that's without
my friends
fail.
literally told me they wouldn't listen to it if I talked about shit. They said they hear it enough, like, in person, and they're like,
So they had a serious conversation with you. They're like, look.
Yes.
Look.
They sat me down and they're like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop.
That's
I have a
really kind of sad, honestly.
I don't know why. I talk about it way too much. I have a poop app.
You have what?
You have
what?
You guys want to follow me on the poop app? My name is...
Is this a serious thing?
Yeah, I have...
Can't tell if this is a bit or not.
I can't tell.
It's called the Poop Map, and every place I've taken a shit, I do a little pin there, and then I make a little comment about the poop. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this anymore.
You're kidding,
you know
right?
What?
Wait, is this
you
real?
Know what?
This is real.
Yes, it's real. It's real.
Oh my gosh, what? Can you follow people?
Yeah, you can. Okay, so I was in class, and this girl, I wasn't close with her at all. She was my lab partner, and she's like, "Hey, check this out," and it was just the poop app, and I was like, "Huh, that's nice." And she's like, "Add me right now," and then she made it a profile for me, and I was like, "All right," and I'm still using it.
And these are the people that tell you not to do poop stuff. They started you on this.
No, she's not one of them. She wanted to hear all about my poop. I think I mentioned I had a stomach ache, and I was like, I just fucking shit everywhere before this class, and then she was like, you know what? You'd be really good on this app.
I see a reoccurring pattern of you being like, oh, you're suggesting something odd? Yeah, I'll do it, 100%.
Yes!
That is her whole life. No wonder she's allergic to water and can't process normal foods.
Yeah.
Eating pecans from the janitor and...
Not pecans. Apricot pits.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you remember.
I like that Juliana just described, like, I'm imagining this being like an ad on like a YouTube thing where someone's like, I just shit all over the floor. And they're like, well, you'd be perfect for the new poop app.
That's kind of how it was.
That stuff works.
You know what? Some people post their pictures of their poop on there. I don't follow those people. I'm not into that.
Jeremy Renner. I bet Jeremy Renner did.
I bet he would. I bet he's a...
Hey guys, check this out.
Peace.
Pay me money.
Peace. Yeah. He just rearranged his turds in the shape of a peace symbol.
What if there's an extra tier of like $200? It's like, hey, for an extra 200, you get to see what's in the bowl.
You get to see what's in the bowl.
Oh, I thought you were talking about for our Patreon. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
That's gonna be a tier. I was hold on there.
I mean, if they want it, will you pay for my poop?
For $200, I'll save up my turds for the next 2 months and write your name in it with them.
I'll ship you a bin of feces for $200. It may be illegal, but you're getting a bargain.
They're like, why does it take 2 months to write my whole name? My name is Ben. And I'm like, look, all right, I only have about 50% solid stools coming, so it'll take a little bit for me to get the whole name in.
My name on the poop app, if anybody wants to follow me, is JujuIBS.
We gotta stop. We only have 50 downloads of our first episode, and we've lost all of your friends. We've lost all of your friends so far in this episode because it's all been completely shit.
Damn it! Before this, I gave myself a pet talk because I had a funny poop story and was like, don't say it, and I cleared it out of my mind, so I don't even remember what it is because I was like, don't say it, don't think it, bye-bye man it.
So this was the alternative.
Did you just make a bye-bye man reference in our podcast?
No, I didn't!
One of the 102 people that saw that movie. Glad it's living on.
I feel like everyone knows what it is. I don't know if anyone's actually seen it.
I haven't seen it. I know about it through the meme that says the pee-pee poo-poo man.
Yeah, the pee-pee poo-poo man.
I've not seen that. I'll have to look it up. We're not doing it here, but...
No, it's just, I'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
When there were the, Black Lives Matter protests last summer, somebody took over the police precinct in Seattle, and it was like, they changed it into, like, the people's department instead of the police department, but then somebody changed that into the poo-poo-pee-pee department, and I thought it was the funniest.
Wait, what? How did that not make news?
Well, my
You're
friends
telling me
went
there's
and
not
took
one
pictures.
media place that was like,
There's
look,
gotta
everything's
be
on
one.
fire, but look, this is hilarious.
Okay, Seattle was actually like, there was a full like 3 blocks that were under takedown from just the public, and the police, they couldn't do anything about it, and my friends went. It was just like a big party for like a week, and they spray painted the police department, because they took over the police department, and it was like pee pee poo poo department. My brother was like, check this out, and I was like, woo! Represent Seattle, baby!
Absolutely beautiful. Great. So then while everyone else was going through some serious stuff and like making serious posts, you're
That is really true.
dabbing on the veterans' graves and making the pee pee poo poo department.
Okay, but they were like trying to charge like white people $5 to come in.
To the pee pee poo poo department?
To come into the pee pee poo poo department?
No, it was shoot, what was it called when they took it over? I think
The
they called
people's
it, like-
department?
No, they took over the whole area and they called it like Cam or something. I don't remember.
They call
My
it what?
friends-
Ham?
My friends are gonna roast me for not remembering it.
What'd you say they called
Hi
it?
guys, welcome to Ham.
Hey guys, welcome to the Ham and Egg Street. We took over the entire block and we named it after breakfast. The best thing we could think of.
You guys like pork?
You guys like pork here?
That's what the street's called. Do you like pork?
Had like a sign and it was like, we want ice, and then somebody crossed it out and was like, the good ice, and I was like, oh, somebody brought bad ice.
Ice Cube showed up. No, the good ice!
Yeah.
Fuck!
Vanilla ice.
Vanilla.
Walks in.
No white people! We're charging white people money to come.
I still don't know. You still didn't say who was charging the money, though.
Just some
I actually
guy.
Don't know. I actually don't know.
I get your
I
tickets to
don't
the
know.
pee pee poo poo department. Open up today.
Who are you? Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions.
I'm
They were
sitting here
supposed to
imagining
be
it's the cops.
reparations.
What'd you say?
They were supposed to be No, there were no police, remember? No police allowed.
I thought you just meant they gave up, and they were like, well, we might as well start selling tickets to this thing. Charge you $5 to get in here. They just start
So what
embracing
happened
it.
was, like, people straight up, like blew up police cars and stuff, and
Yeah.
the police were like, ah, shoot, you know what, just take it. And everybody was like, whoa! And like 200 police officers have resigned from the Seattle Police Department in the last year, so they're getting nay-nayed. Absolutely nay-nayed.
How many are there, like, total, do you know?
Oh, you think I know that? I don't
200.
know. Every time I
They
You don't know your police stats?
I don't.
Seattle's fucked.
You know what? Every time I've dealt with them, it's because I've been robbed, and like,
What a pleasant neighborhood.
You just said that so casual. Barely anyone's been robbed, and you were like, anytime I've had to deal with the fucking cops is when I've been robbed.
Yeah, and every time they're like, well, we can't do anything about it. They took it already, and I'm like, well, can I make a police report?
You talk to the cop, they're like, do you know his name? No.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we can't do anything.
It sucks to suck.
Hold on. Do the cops not do they not investigate shit? Who investigates?
They
I'm
don't.
so
They
confused.
don't investigate robberies, actually. Just to let you know. If you get robbed and you don't have any information about who did it, you just got robbed, punk. That's it.
I guess I never knew this. Wow.
You
Yeah,
call up
well-
911, you're like, hey, someone broke into my house, and they're like,
I had to call 911 5 times. They didn't answer the first 4 times.
Did they put you on hold or did they just hang up?
And like they asked me what my emergency was, and I was like, so 34 vehicles have just been robbed in this parking lot next to my work, and they were like, this isn't like a serious emergency, so we're gonna have to wait. And I just had like the elevator music for an hour, and yeah, and the police, and the police couldn't find where we were because it was a random parking lot, and they drove past us 7 times. And at one point, I waved down some police, and they were like, this isn't our jurisdiction. And I was like, then why are you on this street? Why are you on the street where people get robbed? And then, yeah, they just left.
Then they rob you.
Yeah, the police robbed.
Just got robbed, punk.
double robbed.
So I was at work. I worked a shift at the stadium, And then my parents happened to be at that game because I get a lot of free tickets to the baseball stadium for the Mariners. And my dad, I guess he had an emergency. He had this nice pair of, like, underwear. And he really had to use the bathroom. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is a shit story. I'm sorry, I see your fucking faces. It's a shit story, okay?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was just that you went from, you were like, so I worked at the stadium, you know, the Mariners, and then my dad had a nice pair of underwear, and I was just like, my brain did a fucking
pair of
spin.
Underwear.
I was just...
I'm sweating, I have anxiety.
We just went, like, the camera went, you know the TikToks where the camera goes around someone's face, like anime style? We just went from, like... So I worked at the Mariners underwear.
Okay, this is how my train of thought works. You asked me to be on this podcast. You know this is how I am. Damn it! Damn it!
I think my heart just stopped beating for a second. How do you check pulse?
I'm gonna have a stroke.
Golly.
So I was on my break. My parents picked up my brother from the Greyhound station. It's right next to the stadium. Yada yada yada. So they were at the stadium. They had all, write this down. They had all of my brother's belongings from college in the car. We covered them with a bunch of stuff because it's like, it's middle of downtown. Maybe it's a little sketchy. So we put it under we parked the car under a street light. It's like a public area. I'm like, we're not gonna get robbed here. Turns out they robbed every single car in the parking lot. So, and there was somebody there who was supposed to watch the cars.
They robbed him too.
And they left 5 minutes before everyone got robbed. It was somebody who worked at the stadium. There's a ticket collector and like a parking lot like director person, right? So they left 5 minutes and they were literally in the tunnels and they were like, somebody just got robbed out there, and I was like, damn, that sucks. And then we go to our car after and it was, my car was one of the cars. And I was like, ah! Okay, so back to it. I'm on my break.
That was the side story.
Yeah,
That was nothing.
That was a side story. My brother Snapchats me and his dad just shit his pants everywhere, and I was like, oh no! Not in the $30 pair of underwear. His face
$30? $30? Why?
So my dad's like panicking to get my family into the stadium because it's like the night for my brother's college, and he's like, I need to get this giveaway. I need to get the giveaway before I use the bathroom. So he's really got to poop apparently. He gets into the bathroom and his bowels just unload while he's in there. He shits himself in the bathroom, and when no one's in there, he just takes the underwear off and throws them away. And so my dad is sitting there in no underwear all day, and we had to wait like 4 hours for the police. It was fantastic.
Hold on, so the car robbing and the dad shitting was on the same day?
I thought he called the cops because he shit his pants.
I was gonna say, you transitioned like it was a different story, and you were like, yeah, so then he threw out his underwear, and then we waited an hour for the cops.
I was gonna say, no wonder the police are fed up.
Fucking damn it, it's Julianna again. Jason, we got Julianna on line 1, we got a dad who shit his pants again. Fuck!
Yeah, so I was like, oh no, and so my dad was like, man, can this get any worse? And then we get to the car and our windows are smashed out, and I'm like, uh-oh, not again, and all the cars around us, the windows are smashed out. Somebody had a security, like, box hidden under the bed of their truck, right? Like, under the flooring. And somebody ripped up the flooring. Within the 10 minutes, they robbed all these cars. This had to be, like, a planned thing, right?
No
so,
kidding.
Like, they ripped it up, they stole it, and there were, like, 4 guns in that safe, and they just stole the whole safe. And also, they stole a bunch of prescription drugs, because, like, that same family, they had, like, their grandma's meds, and they're like, well, there was some Xanax, there was some opioids, there was some yada. And I was like, dude, these people freaking scored! And then, like...
No kidding, like, it's like money truck. Holy shit.
Yeah, my brother had, like, his
What
laptop.
didn't they have in their truck? Well, we had some guns, we had some drugs, we had some rattlesnakes, we had some...
We had horse tranquilizers, just the whole 9 yards.
And my brother had everything from school just in the car, like, packed into stuff, and they stole everything except the duffel bag with my brother's clothes. And they're like, this kid, no drip. No drugs.
They stole the homework.
They did steal the homework. It was so bad. They stole all of his textbooks.
They probably went through the thought process of seeing it, and they're like, you know what? Let's just mess with him.
The thing is, like, they took everything out of the duffel bag, and then they just dumped the clothes everywhere, and they were like, ew, this kid, triple XL.
This kid shits himself.
Yeah.
I just want the schoolwork. Oh my gosh. How did they do this? Okay. This is crazy to me because this is like the Grinch robbed a fucking parking lot. Did they get away with a sleigh of just shit?
Yeah.
Like, how did they get all this stuff?
The thing is, like, that parking lot was one of the parking lots that's supposed to be secure. Like, it has security cameras and it's associated with the stadium. Like, when you pull up to the stadium, it's like, oh, parking here, like, $20. So, like, the stadium is, like, telling everybody, yeah, this is a safe parking lot, and no, every single person got robbed, so...
I don't understand how that happened with no one noticing until it was done. I don't get it.
One guy had his PlayStation and Xbox in there, and he went to a concert.
Why?
I'm with Daniel on this. Why are you driving around with that?
That's his own fault. I have no empathy for him.
I don't really know why. I don't know why, but he was a weed dealer, and he's like, they stole a lot from me, but I can't tell the police what they stole. So I'm mad because that was worth a lot of money, and I can't even report it as stolen. And I'm like, ah, bummer.
Darn it, I brought my 8 seasons of House MD in the truck. Fucking damn it, I got stolen. Why would you bring game consoles in your damn truck? What are you gonna do with them?
Not even one, but two.
You know, I think drug dealers aren't always the most, like, intelligent people. That's just, like, from my experience with them, but...
Your experience...
Yeah, you know, I have friends in the industry. I've told you this.
Lively, snitches get stitches.
You just have friends in every industry.
You know what? That's true.
Do you not know the people? I'm sure you know the people that robbed everybody.
You know what? Probably. You know what?
Oh, it was Jordan.
Friend...
It was my buddy Eric.
Damn.
My friends just come into, like, a bunch of money and, like, game consoles, and I'm like, bro, this is so sick. How'd you get all this? And they're like, you know, just stumbled upon it.
Stumbled upon this 3 pages of homework.
Yeah. It was like the week before my brother's finals too, and he had this notebook. He had this notebook with all of the material from the course, and they were like, "You can use this on the final." And so my brother just had none of the material.
I told you, they're just messing with him. They're just messing with him.
And no one would believe him. He'd go to his teachers and be like, look, this happened yesterday. Someone broke into every car in the Mariners parking lot and stole my fucking homework. And they're going to be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, all right, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, my brother literally came home from college for that one night, for the college night at the stadium. And that was the only time he came home, and he got robbed.
And that's the only time he got home, of course.
Of course.
Wow. Okay, buddy, I'm sure they stole your homework. Why don't you go shit in the bathroom about it?
Yeah, get Nene. Dude, my brother always gets, like, wrecked with, like, the police.
You
like,
said Nene casually twice now. And reference bye-bye man. I feel like I've jumped back in time 3 years.
The term get Nene is so funny to me.
It's, I need to stop.
Your brother got robbed and you're like, get Nene.
So there was, like, a party eye patch. Like, it had, like, a little, like, googly eye on it. Wait. At the scene of the crime, and I was like, look, this was their disguise! Police, look! And the police did not think it was funny.
You showed an eye patch you found in the street with googly eyes on it to the cops and said this was their disguise.
It was right under my car, and it wasn't there when we left. It was in the middle of the shattered glass, and I was like, check it out.
Guys,
there's a gang of people with these.
There's a gang of quirky pirates stealing from everyone's cars.
There's a gang of one-eyed pirates collecting crap and homework in the parking lots.
Dude, I feel so bad for my brother. Like, 2 weeks before that, it's like the middle of winter, right? Okay. And where he lives in this part of Washington, it snows a lot. And it's super cold, and my brother, he's kind of, he's a husky guy. He runs warm, so he has his fan on at all times, even though it's snowing outside. And one of his pod mates in this little room he lives in, the girl's a stoner, so she smokes a lot, and they're not allowed to smoke in there. And so somebody reported them saying, hey, that pod is really stinky, right? And my brother was taking a nap. The security people were pounding on the door for like 15 minutes. He wakes up, his eyes are like bloodshot red, because that's what happens when he wakes up from naps. He opens the door and he's groggy and he's like, hello? And the fan is on. Smells like weed, and they're like, dude, we got a complaint for you. You're coming with us. And they almost expelled him, and he's like, I swear it wasn't me. And they're like, you know what? All of the evidence points to you.
That's why they stole his homework. Those sons of bitches planted his homework in the weed.
It's all connected. It's all connected.
It's all connected. It's all connected.
What do we got here in the weed? Looks like we got a key to the next test. Ah! It's not me, I swear.
I swear.
Oh
my poor
God.
brother.
Okay, that actually is kind of funny. So these guys that robbed all the cars, it's like they took his homework with all his name on all of them, and every crime they committed for the next 3 weeks, they left one of his homework assignments at the site. It was like, this was the whole story somewhere that we missed, right? This is like the homework serial killer. At every scene of the crime, there's been a homework assignment left on the mutilated body.
Our perpetrator left mechanical pencils at every crime.
It's only school supplies.
And at one crime scene, we found an Xbox and a Wii. What does it mean?
What does it mean? A Wii.
Oh my God. And a Wii U. What trying times do we live in? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh.
Love it. And then the other time I got robbed, there was just glass all over the car, and I was like, hey, we can't sit down and, like, drive away now. Can you, like, help us clean this up, officer? And he's like, you know what? I really got stuff to do. And I was like, oh, and we just had to sit in little glass shards, and we literally bled all the way home. We couldn't clean up all the pieces.
Come on. There had to have been an intermediary solution. How could you not get all the glass bits off the chair?
Well, you know what? When we were trying to wipe it off, it cut our hands, so...
Well, use something!
Were you using your bare fucking hands?
What were you supposed to wipe it with? I
would clean the glass, but my hands are bleeding from the glass.
Time to wipe off some glass.
Time to sit in it.
I'm just imagining you looking at the glass like, all right, how do I wipe this off? Bare hands in, like... Well, there's glass in my hand.
And you want to know the biggest irony about this? My freaking brother, when he got robbed, it was the week before finals. When I got robbed, it was also the week before my finals. And all of my material from the course was gone. I had a lab textbook that I had to turn in. And all of my labs missing. It was tragic.
What do people do with it?
I don't know.
So confused.
I searched in trash cans for like hours surrounding the area, and I was like, come on, they gotta just dump. They don't need this lab book. Like, this is worth nothing. Just give me the lab book, please.
Are you guys not seeing this?
Not seeing what?
What?
Everything's connected to their school. All the crimes are connected to their school.
Yeah, it is.
John made a mistake. Your brother John, while back, made a mistake, and that was it. They put hit markers on you. And that was it for the rest of your life.
Your school is cursed.
Every finals.
Oh, I go to a different school.
You better not be home during finals week.
No, shoot.
You better not come home a week before finals.
Don't rob your house.
You're gonna get robbed. You're gonna shit yourself. You're gonna have a sit in glass.
You're gonna shit yourself.
You're gonna have glass in your ass crack. It's gonna be
a guy with an eye patch is gonna shoot you.
Oh my god, yes, he's coming. Oh my god, he is the hitman.
The Bye Bye Man sequel. It's just a guy with an eye patch and like a dollar store googly eye.
Yeah, it was like a cheap.
It's like discount One-Eyed
thing.
Moody.
It's not even the Bye Bye Man. It's the Eye Man.
Oh,
the Eye Man.
Fucking kill me.
You get it?
Yeah.
You get
Yeah, you know what? I think I might have got
He's a pirate. You get it? That was good.
I think I might have got that one.
That was good.
After this podcast, I'm gonna jump off a cliff. Anyway, continue.
Can they even come in your brother's... sorry, that didn't start off right. Can they enter... Can they... Penis. Can we...
There it is.
Anyway,
there it
can
is.
the I don't think cops can walk into your apartment without a...
No, it was campus security.
I was gonna say permit.
And then they brought the police.
But, I mean, they still can't come in without a warrant, right? I guess maybe counselors can.
Yeah, I don't know. But in the end, my brother had to go to a couple meetings and, like, prove that it wasn't him.
Wow.
And my parents were like, are you gonna pass a drug test if they make you take it? And he's like, there's not much to do at my college. And I'm like, uh-oh.
No.
So I had a friend that, this is the same thing that happened to you guys happened to him. He just somehow had every run-in with the cops for 4 years of college. And it started with, he just went for a smoothie one day at our local, little college smoothie shop, paid with a 20, it was a fake 20 apparently, and he didn't know. So they tracked him via security camera. It's a little sketch. They tracked him via the security camera. These is campus police. And they came to his, his dorm, and they were like, can we come in? And he was like, yeah, which was his mistake. You shouldn't do that. But they were in, and like, they were like looking around, and he was like, what are you looking for? And they're like, oh, just looking for, counterfeit money and whatever. Well, they found like alcohol, and they didn't care about that. And he was like, well, and then they found, because he's an engineer and he was dealing with materials engineering, he had like the same material you would use to counterfeit money just laying around.
Oh.
And they were like, what do we have here? So they actually took him in for interrogation.
You're kidding.
Oh, no.
Over a 20?
Yeah.
I know, right? I was like, they check fake 20s? That's crazy.
Apparently the guy at the smoothie shop noticed and the materials engineer didn't. But I'm just kidding. If he's probably listening to this, Chris, you're the smartest person I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But then, so as he was, I forget if he said he got home from getting interrogated or what, but his mom did like interrogations in Guantanamo back in the day. So she called the police department because she wanted it off his record. And then he was like, Mom, what did you tell them? And she's like, don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
He tried to call the police station to see if like they took it off his record or if he needed to do anything else. They wouldn't pick up his calls from his specific number. The police station declined his calls.
We don't take your kind here.
Hey, we'll scrub this off your record. Don't get into any trouble. Like, what?
But then from then on, he always got in trouble with the cops. Like, he was clearing off his car, like, in the middle of winter from ice, and they thought he was breaking into the car, the only car in the parking lot. Like, just shit like that for 4 years. It was absolutely hysterical. I don't know. Anyway.
What's up with campus police just targeting people?
Yeah, my brother's first day at college, he was, like, at orientation, and campus police,
robbed.
like, came up to him.
Everything boils down to getting robbed.
They came up to him and they were like, are you John Lively? And my parents are like, oh my God, what did you do? We've been here for like 3 hours. And then he was like, yes. And they're like, dude, you dropped your ID, you freaking dingus. Like, you've been here you just got this printed and you already lost it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's terrible, especially on orientation day. That day is always the worst. For my orientation day, my like little person they assigned to me,
Your
I
little
guess.
person?
They were like, okay, now time to go sign up for classes. Follow your little, I don't know, side person
Your
leader. And he and
Orientation
I
elf?
walked to another building, had a nice little walk. We went to the building, opened the door to an empty, dark lab, and he's like, fuck. And I was like, yes.
What's
and he was
happening?
like, we've gone to the wrong building, kid. And then it was pouring rain, and we were supposed to go to the building across campus, which if you know my campus, it's just woods and deer. I mean, it's just open as shit. So we sprinted through a mile across campus as it's pouring rain, opened into the lab. We're just drenched. We're just dripping wet. And she was just like, and that's how you sign up for classes. And everyone looks at us as we're all just dripping water.
Are you kidding me?
And my leader in front of me looks at everything, and then he just walks out. So I'm just standing there soaking
Like,
wet.
bye.
Orientation day. And I'm like, how do you sign up for classes? Then I got robbed.
Yeah, and then I got robbed. Man, I love college. The college experience is great. I had a stalker, and I felt too bad to report him because
No.
He was like a foreign guy, and I felt bad, and he was like, the last girl who I thought was my girlfriend, and she said she wasn't. I tried to kill myself, and I was like, oh no, I can't report this
stalker
guy.
behavior.
I can't report him. I feel
yes,
bad.
you can.
Yes,
That's
you
not
can.
real.
Yeah.
He made it up.
Yeah,
We're going to report him now.
Yeah, give us his name.
12 years later.
You know what? I was, like, panicking. He was like, I would hide in these buildings that, like, nobody would use, and, like, he tapped me on the shoulder and was like, guess who? And I was like, oh! And it was the freaking guy, and it was
What?
so scary. It was so scary.
Wait,
like,
you mean he was... Hold on, back up. So you mean he was waiting for you in these abandoned buildings?
No, like, I would abandon. Okay. It was like, it would be like the corner of the library where nobody would use, and I would just, like, hide there and, like, wait for my next class, and then, like, he'd be behind me, and, like, he'd put his, like, hands over my eyes also and be like, guess who? And, like,
how did he find you?
Like, I don't know. He had to search every corner of every building to have found me. Like, it was like that.
Did you ever give him your schedule?
No, we had one class together. I answered a question once. He smiled at me. I smiled back, and that was my mistake.
We're dating now.
You should have just told him to go fuck himself. I was gonna say, safe response to everyone that smiles at you.
You know what? I fucked up.
Daniel, we have a joint girlfriend. That's crazy.
Yes, finally. The most girlfriend I've ever had. 1.5.
I would purposely wear, like, gross clothes, like sweatpants, and look disheveled every day so nobody would approach me, because I also had a stalker one other time before then, and it wasn't as bad, but the guy would... Okay, now I'm gonna go on another stalker tangent. So, okay. I had a math class with him. I was sitting alone because I didn't want to sit with people. I didn't want to talk with people. When we had a break in the middle of the class, he came and just sat next to me, and I was like, hello, and he's like, hello, and then, like, he would just stare at me while I was looking up at the board, and he would just have his face and stare at me the whole time, and then he started, like, sniffing his fingers really hard, like really hard while he would stare at me, and I was like, and then he missed class one day, and he kept asking me for my number to send, like, my notes, and I'm like, my phone died, and he's like, you don't know your own number, and I'm like, no, I literally don't, like, do I call myself? No.
My phone died. Aren't you texting on a phone?
Shut up.
Fuck
you. It's my mom's.
I was so scared. Like, I had my friend pick me up that day because, like, it was a night class, and so I was walking to the parking lot, and he's like, let me walk you to your car.
Nope.
And, like, it's a night class, and nobody's on campus.
No.
I had my friend pick me up, and I was like, no, I'm just waiting for my friend. We're gonna go to the arcade, actually. Like, I'm fine. And he just was, like, trying to, like, take me, like, to his car, and he's like, come check out my car, and I'm like, no, I'm just waiting for my friend. It's like,
absolutely
there's
not.
no campus security at this time, like,
as if they would have helped.
I was so scared, and then,
knock
that
off. Grow up.
Hey, let him drag you into his car.
Yeah, and
have a good night.
He's a nice boy. Have a good night.
And you know the worst part was, like,
oh, it's Juliana. We don't accept 911 calls from her.
We don't accept 911 calls from you. Yeah, he was just, like, so creepy, and I was like, oh, my friend's here, gotta go, and, like, luckily he was failing the class, just dropped it halfway through, but, like, he would approach me after class, and he'd just be like, you remind me of somebody, you know that? And I'm like, yeah, okay, and he's like, you know who you remind me of? And I'm like, no. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what, I'm trying to finish my homework, and then he's like, we just got out of class 5 minutes ago, you don't need to worry about this homework. You look like Mia Khalifa. And I'm like, no, I do not! And then he's like, you do. And I'm like, please leave me alone. Oh my god.
This isn't funny, this is terrible.
He'd always be like, what are you? And I'm
what
like,
are you?
A person.
What kind of fucking question is that?
Yeah, and then he's like, what's your ethnicity? And I'm like, you know what?
Oh.
My dad was adopted, and I actually have no idea. So he's like, I think you're whatever Mia Khalifa is. And I'm like, okay, please.
Dude, what a creep. That's so weird.
Yeah, and I'm
what?
Like, please, go away.
Next day he comes to your class. So I got you this ancestry kit. If you mind, can you just spit in this vial? I just want to see.
Can you just spit? I really want your spit.
The vial is already on a string around his neck. Here, just spit in this. Just spit in this vial.
Just spit in it, please.
Can we make eye contact while you fill it?
I hate it. Oh my god. This is what happens if you go to community college, guys. Like,
this is what happens if you go to any college. This is the problem. Stalkers are terrible. And the problem is, like, again, for you, if you did anything to tell him to stop, you would have been labeled a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. Because, like, I had stalkers, but they were all, like, harmless. And that was, like, high school. Like, once you get to college, people are usually beyond that.
No, no.
You would
not.
think.
Okay.
You would hope.
Like that guy who was that foreign guy that would stalk me.
Yeah, go back to that one.
He eventually memorized my schedule. And I would be so panicked when I'd leave the buildings. I would like go out like back doors and then hide behind like brick like walls. And then like I was like literally like shuffling behind the brick wall, and he was around the corner.
Like Kronk in Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, like I was doing that.
I'm sorry, this isn't funny. I'm trying to like
shimmy,
lighten
shimmy.
it. The llama movie. And he's right there.
Yes, I was dancing.
Absolutely
I
terrible.
was dancing along
Lively's
the wall.
bringing up past trauma. You're like, yeah, Kronk reference. That'll lighten it up.
Yeah, remember that David Spade movie?
Yeah.
Remember Joe Dirt?
You remember Joe Dirt? You know what? Not as
Remember
good.
Walkie Slush?
Yes.
Stop!
You're like, not in this one. It's done.
Why is someone paying for this?
Yeah,
I'm
why
sorry.
is
That's a
someone-
good point. I'm sorry. For the
I'm
one
sorry.
person that's paying
I'm
for this,
sorry.
don't stop. Please. Please don't stop.
We'll get better.
We'll get better, I swear.
Okay.
Okay, stalker. He found me. I was like asking my friends to walk with me, and eventually they started noticing the stalker like following me, and they're like, "There he is!" And I'm like, "Shoot!" And they made me like report to student services, and then
Good.
like
Good.
campus security had to escort me to my classes and stuff.
Good.
And
Tell us what his name is, and let's go. Like, I'll drive over, and we'll beat him up now.
I'm
I don't
down.
remember, but it was very foreign, and he brought me food one day, and I was like, "Oh."
Please
do
tell
I
me you
have
didn't eat
to
it.
eat
Please
this?
tell me you didn't eat it. Please tell me you didn't eat it. Please tell me you
I
didn't
did
eat
eat it. I did eat it.
it.
Okay, it was Sherry's. It's fun. Yeah, and then one time I was walking like to my car, and like it was raining because it does that a lot here, and he's like, "Oh, your beautiful hair, it's going to get messy," and I'm like, I'm literally wearing like a messy bun, like I look like shit on purpose so he avoids me, and he just like takes a strand of my hair and like tucks it behind my ear, and I'm like, no.
She immediately pulls out like electric razor, just buzzes
Yeah,
that
he
off.
takes-
This
he
is
takes-
mine.
This, you can have this now. Go play with it
Yeah.
for a while.
And, like, I just kept saying, like, I wasn't interested, and then, like, the campus, like, security people were like, well, with a lot of these foreign kids in their culture,
Oh,
like, it's,
no,
like, not,
no.
it's like they don't want to take no for an answer, and it's like,
No.
if persistence is, like, a good trait you want in a
No.
man, and I was like, oh, God.
No.
That's the
Well-
sign of good white campus security that don't understand anything.
But you know what? They were
Engineering is
actually not
very.
white.
Okay. I'm just saying, engineering's diverse. We know we have a lot of people from a lot of different countries, and they'll tell you that's not
No.
normal in anywhere else.
No.
That's a very white response. Like, well, in other parts of the world, they just kidnap them and drag them in the cars. Like, I hate
Well,
that
like,
response
the thing was,
so
they
much.
weren't defending him. It was like they were telling me he wasn't going to stop.
But look what they told you.
They were
Look,
like, you need
they weren't
campus security because
No,
he's never gonna
defending
stop.
him. They just said
repeat
it
what they
wasn't his
told you.
fault.
Yeah, repeat what they told you right now.
They told you, persistence is a good trait in a man.
They
in other
told
countries,
you that
Wait, they said
when
that?
You're getting stalked.
They said
They're
that?
telling you that when you're getting stalked.
They said that persistence is a good trait in a man. You're kidding.
Yeah.
They said that to you?
they said
Oh
that, but
my-
they said in
Oh
other countries.
My
In other
gosh,
countries.
you're kidding. Holy shit.
Jail, all of them, jail.
That's shit that would happen in a movie, and I'd be like, people don't really say that blatant stuff. Oh my
they do.
god.
You know what?
Persistence is a good trait in a man.
Yeah.
Fuck me. That
They-
is just...
They did. They
Fire
did.
that person immediately.
And I was just like making up stories to that guy. Like I was like, my boyfriend doesn't like me talking to you, and he's like, you don't have a boyfriend, and I'm like, God damn it!
You caved in really quick there.
Yeah.
Dang
I was like, oh,
No, their
my
names
God,
are Nick
right.
and their names are Nick and Senor, and they run a podcast that's on Patreon right now. If you subscribe. He's like, "Where are you looking? I'm right here." Just looking off in the distance.
There's a guy with the camera just holding it like.
We got and cut. That's
And
good.
cut. Fantastic. Good job. Good job.
And then he failed his class. No wonder.
So whatever happened with that guy?
Oh, well, campus security just, like, escorted me, and, like, they said if he kept following me, I'd have to get a restraining order, and he just never followed me again.
Oh, you
Okay.
should.
So,
So you're safe. You're good.
yeah, I was safe. I'm
He's
okay.
not still in your life, like following you. Like,
No.
her hair looks very nice.
He's behind her right now. Like, oh, fuck.
Shh.
Oh, stop.
I saw him on campus once, and he looked super panicked. He saw me and, like, turned the other way, and I was like, good.
We need to call that fucker out. I want to kill. I want to beat him up right now. We gotta go do a little dick cutting here.
A little dick cut.
Just a little bit of a snip.
Which way? Which way?
Which way? The dick.
Speaking of Chris, we were just one of the guys that was like this at our campus that had tried to drug somebody and didn't succeed. But there wasn't any proof. I looked for the cup for hours and I couldn't find the fucking roofies. Anyway, he's just in the gym playing badminton like a rapist does. And we were walking in.
Right.
He was afraid of me, even though he's like twice as big as me, because I'd always call him out.
Because he plays badminton, so he's huge.
You would think, yeah. Anyway, but anyway, so he sees Chris before me, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Chris," and Chris is like, "What up, you rapist piece of fucking shit?" And he yells it into the gym. And I was like, "Thanks, Chris." It was beautiful.
Shout out to Chris. Thank you.
Shout out to Chris.
We appreciate you.
Oh my word.
I also had a stalker at my work. It was a good time.
Okay.
All these stories. Nick was like, "Whatever happened to him?" And you're like, "Oh, he got robbed." Everyone in Seattle gets robbed.
Wait, really quick, before you go on to your work stalker, Daniel, what was your stalker experience?
Oh, nothing even close to that. It's not even funny. It was just...
Was it romantic or was it a friendship stalker? Or...
When it comes down to it, I could have easily clobbered any of them. So, was it an issue?
Women.
No.
Women.
I could have punted that 8-year-old any day.
Look at me. They were all like a foot shorter than me, and they could have beaten the shit out of me. All right, look at me. You kidding me? No, mine were like super innocent. They were nothing like that. So it was like mine was like
in, like that super Christian town. Remember?
Exactly. So it was like the worst thing there would be like the mildest thing anywhere else. So like for me, it was like, you know, when I was in the musical and I had to go backstage and like change. Someone was helping me like change, and I was switching. Like I was taking off my pants and putting on different pants, and I felt eyes, and I was like.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you felt
hands.
hands.
I looked over and she's behind the curtain like watching, and I was like, all right, you know.
Alright.
That was pretty much as bad as it got. The worst thing I heard of in the town, period, was there was this, that stuff happened to girls. And one of my best friends at the time, she had a stalker. This kid was the dumbest little piece of shit. He was like 5 foot tall, and he talked like Kermit the Frog. I think I've probably told you this before, because he was in my musical. He's a random Russian, and he's supposed to be this like big tough guy, but for some reason the director gave him like,
and
he's 5 foot tall, and he walks into the bar and he's like, "Good evening, innkeeper." And my dad will still make fun of him this day. My dad doesn't make fun of anybody, and he's always like, "Remember that kid?" He was like, "Good evening, innkeeper." What an idiot.
What a loser.
He came up, I mean, just when we were there live, everyone, it was just hard not to laugh. You would just hear nervous laughter from like the back of the room when he was like, "Good evening," because he's supposed to be a Russian tossing the Jews. It's a serious scene, and you can't take it seriously because he's an idiot. I can't do it. He's just an idiot. Anyway, this kid stalked a friend of mine, and of course this is a hick town, so at one point she calls me, and another one of my friends is with me, and she's like, "Yeah, he's across the street from my house," and she's like sort of out in the country. And she's like, "He's on a tractor, standing on his tractor seat, looking towards my house." And that's like the hickest thing you've ever heard.
That's how you court women there.
In the Midwest, you just stand on your tractor and you start like singing a Star Spangled Banner. I don't know. What are other Americans? I can't think. I've heard country for long enough. I should know. Red Solo Cup, yeah. Stand on your tractor across someone's house. Red Solo Cup. I fill you up.
He's the one.
He wants to fill it up.
He's the one.
He sang so good to me.
Anyway, so we were like, she called us about this, and Nate and I were like, "Oh, great, we're going to go beat the shit out of him," because she doesn't live that far from me. By the time we got over there, somehow he drove a tractor like 2 miles because he was gone. I was so disappointed. We were really looking forward to beating the shit out of him.
Tractors have a max speed of 2
I
miles
know, right?
an hour.
I was like, dude, he's zooming. Zooming.
Knowing him, he probably formatted that shit like a Fast and Furious movie, so...
He hot-wired the tractor. Now I go 5 miles an hour.
Just speeds away through the fields on a damn tractor.
Wow, that's odd. The only stalker experience I have was back in middle school. I had just transferred schools, And there was this girl named, well, I can't say her name because I don't know if this will eventually come back. Yeah, okay. So her name was... I'll literally say it and I'll censor it in post. Her name was...
Lele Pons.
Okay. We used to sit in a little pod, and it was all new kids. So it was me...
Lele Pons.
And 2 other kids. And the first day, we were getting all our school supplies. We're filling our desks. And she goes, do you have a pencil I could borrow? And I thought that was odd because... it's the first day. This is a necessity. So I'm like, yeah, sure. And I give her the pencil, and she grabs my hand with the pencil. and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought that was an odd way to grab a pencil, but that was it.
She grabbed it from Elf.
I handed her the pencil, and she grabbed my cock and balls. And I was like, that's a weird way to hold a pencil.
That's not the pencil.
you said that was a stalker experience. This is just like innocent, like kid things. That we can't call that a stalker story after Juliana went into her story. Juliana was literally like, I bought clothes that were colored like bricks so I could hide along the wall and he would still find me. And we're like,
one time this girl touched the pencil in my hand.
And we're like, yeah.
She wanted my
girl grabbed my hand
in and around her mouth.
Wait, what about a mouth?
What?
We're minors, no.
Okay, good. Yeah, move on. I don't want to hear it again.
So this is in 6th grade, right? So fast forward a couple weeks, and she goes, hey, do you have a Facebook? And at the time I said no, because I didn't. And Facebook was new in 6th grade, for me at least. And so she goes, make one, and I'll add you. And I said, okay. So I made a Facebook, and she added me. Now, back at the time, when Facebook was relatively a newer thing...
cool thing.
I didn't know that your chat, when you're online, it shows on the side of the chat bar where, these people are online, and then you could click on them and message them right away. I didn't know that was a feature. So I'd get home, I'd jump on the computer, and then I'd go on Facebook to see what, my friends are posting, like, oh, lunch sucked today, or whatever 6-year-olds, or 6th graders post. So I'm just like,
6-year-olds on Facebook. Made a big poo-poo today.
You guys watch Barney last night?
I just shit myself.
Bro, Apple Jacks? Smack. Okay, so anyway.
Smack.
So I'm checking, Facebook, and I'm seeing all these statuses, and immediately you hear, like, the noise. And I check, and she's like, hey, Nick. And I just thought, like, oh, okay, that was quick, but whatever. And so we talk, whatever. And at the end of it, she goes, so, what kind of girls do you like? And at the 6th grade is kind of like an iffy period. You're kind of like starting to get into girls, but not really. It's just kind of like, girls exist.
Finished up with cooties.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I guess I'll accept cooties at this stage. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know. And she's like, would you date me? And I go, I don't know, maybe. Because it was, whatever. And she's like, that's messed up. And I didn't, and I was like,
what?
Okay.
Jeez.
And I thought, like, that was weird, but it made me uncomfortable enough to end the Facebook chat. And I was like, okay, well, I gotta go do homework, bye, and I left. Each time I went on Facebook, she'd message me, and she goes, so, would you date me now? And it got weird, but I was like, that's how girls are. I just thought every girl would, like, message you the second you're online. Hey, would you date me? Hey, would you date me? Hey, would you date me?
Man, what's it like to be hot? Tell us, Nick. Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that's what it was like. I was just getting messages.
What single girl?
I would make spam Instagram accounts just to follow myself because I wanted to feel hot.
That's so miserable and pathetic.
I'm joking, by the way.
I was like, I don't know if he is. It sounded too real.
You said that just too casually. Anyway, fast forward. This is in the middle of the year. We have a field trip coming up. And for the field trip, we had to fill out this form. And it wasn't a simple form where you just say, yeah, or your parents sign and they go, yeah, my child can attend this. Here's my signature. And you pay the $15 or whatever. We were going to the museum. But for ours, we had to fill out my name and then the contact info in case something happened. Because apparently we'd die at the Field Museum in Chicago. So we'd put,
Nice.
Our mother's name, our home address, and our phone number, our home phone number. And so I didn't think anything of it, but the teacher was like, hey,
Lele Pons.
Can you collect all the forms? And I thought, yeah, that's fine. So I gave my form in, and I noticed that, at the time flip phones were still a thing. She goes like this. She flips open her phone, and goes like that, and then closes it and puts it back in her pocket. And I was just like, what is she taking a picture of? Me being stupid. I'm like, okay, she's just taking pictures of the forms to show that she has a bunch of forms or something. I don't know. I didn't know what my thought process was.
Wow. Little Nick was like, oh, that's a great idea. Posting on Facebook, I've got a lot of forms.
I got forms today.
Suck it.
That evening, she calls my home because I'm not answering her Facebook messages. I'm ignoring her on Facebook, so she calls my home phone and she goes, hey, is Nicholas around? And my parents are like, oh, yeah, I'll go call him. And then they just think it's one of my friends. And my heart sinks when I answer the call because I just go, hello, I don't know who it is. They didn't tell me. I pick up the phone, I go, hello, and she's like, hey, Nicholas. And I'm like, I didn't have a phone at the time. I told her I don't have a phone. Now this woman has my home phone number. And I'm just like, oh, hey, I got a lot of homework, so I gotta go.
Bitch, I'm gaming.
2 days later.
Then I find a phone in my book, cut out in a rectangle.
Then I find a Nokia. 2 days later.
In my ass.
How'd that get there? 2 days later, I'm doing homework, and then I hear dum 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 dum. And I'm like,
no.
People don't visit our house at this time because we don't get, I don't know.
We don't
People don't know I live in a house.
People don't know I exist. So I answered that's such a stupid joke. I hate that you laughed at that.
Nick's like, no one knows I live in the basement of my neighbor's house.
Who's visiting me?
How the fuck?
So your parents tell you, hey, don't open the door if, we're not home. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to open the door. I look through the peephole. Guess who it is?
It's your GF.
Lele Pawns.
Yep.
Russell Brand. Oh, yeah, fuck. Sorry. I'm bad at this game.
I'm bad at this.
She would ask, the first time she did it, she just knocked. I didn't answer. She left. And I was like, okay, I thought that would be it.
She left.
Well, that's what I
painted her face like the bushes, like PETA in Hunger Games, and waited.
The next following day, she'd come every single day after school. She'd drive. I don't know where she lived. To this day, I don't know where she lived. But she'd get her
King Batch.
She'd drive to my house. She'd knock on my door. She'd ask to hang out, and I'd say, "Oh, I'd have my parents tell me because I was like not scared of her, but it just made me uncomfortable." I'd have my parents tell her, "Oh, he's busy with homework tonight. Maybe some other time," and that was it. But it kept going on and on and on, and then finally it just stopped out of nowhere, and I thought, okay. That's cool.
Died.
No. So I thought, okay, that's fine. And at this time, Facebook was a thing and then Twitter was a thing. So I made a Twitter. Someone sent me a little tweet message and they're like, hey, do you know this account exists? And I click on it and I was like, okay, what is this? It's pictures of my house. And her saying her nickname for me was Necklace. And she's like, Necklace isn't home with the little like broken heart emoji. And she
that
tweeted
is the creepiest
day
shit.
after day after day after day, and then it just stopped posting. I don't know what happened. I didn't care to ask what happened. I'm not gonna say, why'd you stop coming by my house and taking pictures?
Yeah.
I just ignored it.
Oh my gosh.
Your dad buried her in the backyard. Is what happened.
The next
Nick is jacking off to this afternoon.
That's terrible.
I don't know what happened to this person. I don't want to know what happened to this person.
I want to know.
It's still freaky to me that there's a Twitter account with like 30-something tweets.
It's still out there?
Somewhere. I gotta find the name. If I can find it, I'll send it to you guys.
I gotta find the pictures of Nick's house.
Here's the thing that bugs me though is that in 6th grade you put stupid usernames. It's not your username. It's not your actual name and like some numbers or something clever. It's always just like Bieber Lover 8265741.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find the account name, but it's out there somewhere. If someone can find it.
Necklace 69420.
That's so disturbing.
That is absolutely disturbing.
She found a new boy to stalk.
Were people liking her pictures and tweets? That's what I want to know.
No, she had 0 followers on that account. She didn't follow me on that account. It just, I guess, it popped up under related, and someone's like, "Oh, this person from our class. Let me click on it." And
related.
And they sent it to me, and they're like, "Hey, this exists?" And I didn't know, but that's my stalker story.
If you like Ariana Grande, you'll like pictures of Nick's house late at night.
She was full on doxing me, though. That's the crazy thing.
Dang.
she's full on doxing me because my address is on the on the building. It's
just
not
out in the open. She's like, check it out. This is where he lives.
But she was doxing you to like people from your school, right? I mean,
it's on the internet.
But still,
people don't know I live in a house. How dare she?
It just bugs me that the actual numbers around the house. It's one thing if it's just like, oh, the window. I'm defending stalking. What am I doing?
You are defending stalking.
Sorry.
If it was just me sleeping in bed without the house number in it, that'd be fine. But
that's fine. But you're showing
now
where
you've
I
gone too far.
You're showing where I sleep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't have any. That's why I don't have any stories. Nothing happened in the 18 years that I lived there.
That's good though. Less trauma.
That is good.
Yeah, but less fun. I'm just kidding. After all we've just heard, that's not a good joke. I want to get robbed.
I
want to get stalked by a robber.
I got stalked at this kid at my work because I was like in charge of. I was like a gate captain or whatever, and this one kid was like, I don't know what gate we're going to, I don't know where to go, and then he's like, can I have your number so you can tell me what gates we're at for that day and blah 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 and help me guide me there? And I'm like, sure. This kid is like disabled. I don't know what his disability is.
Well, now I feel bad for
all
that.
right,
yeah,
and that's all we've got for today, folks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Oh boy.
So I genuinely was like, okay, maybe he actually doesn't know how to get there, right? So I give him my number, and he starts like sending me pictures of like women and like leather and like covered in like weird liquids,
Oh
and
my
then he's
God.
like,
Oh,
saying
what?
he wanted that to be me.
Wait,
and then he's
whoa.
You
he's
glossed by that.
What do
quick.
you mean by weird? Like, I don't know. I don't want to ask.
In
but...
molasses and
Okay.
like.
How do you know it's
rolling-
molasses?
Because he would mention it all the time. He always said he wanted me to be covered in pig urine and molasses and be on like a farm rolling in hay with the pigs, and he wanted me to sink into the molasses, and he always like would just go into deep descriptions of these fantasies he had, and I could do nothing because I had to sit there and like watch over these people, and I'm like, I'm their supervisor, I can't do anything. Tried to complain to my boss. And I was like, hey, like, this is, like, weird. I don't know how to, like, bring it up to you. And he's like, I'm busy. And my boss would never meet with me to talk about it. And then eventually somebody saw this kid, like, trying to, like, touch me. And he's, like, 7 foot something. Like, he's huge.
Oh
and,
my
like, really,
gosh.
He's really
7
heavy.
foot.
Like, he's, like, really, really big. Like over 300 pounds. Like, he's big. And, like,
Yeah.
I'm really small. He's kind of, like, touching himself a little, and I'm just standing there, and, like, somebody walks by and oversees it, and I'm like, please help me. And then, like, my boss, like, comes through, and he's like, why did you never tell me about this? And I literally was like, because you never let me. And then he was like, I'm so sorry.
That's awful.
I like how you tried to justify why it was okay for you to be afraid by you were saying, I'm a little short. Let's get this thing straight. You said he was 7 foot, 300 pounds.
Yeah, he towered over me.
Towering over all
Doesn't
of us.
matter. He towers over everybody.
Yeah, he always would send me pictures, and it was, like, clearly from porn. And, like, I'm pretty sure I reminded him of this girl, and he kept, like, saying, like, he would describe these videos and, like, say that he wanted me to do them, and I'm just like, alright, well, why don't you go, like, hand that out to that fan over there, so...
You've experienced the worst shit in life. My gosh, you've gotten the worst
like,
hand.
I just didn't know what to do about it because, like, the guy was disabled, and so, like, I really was just in this weird position, and I was like, I don't know what to do. He won't stop calling me. I never answered his phone calls, but he would leave me messages.
You block his number.
I blocked him as soon as I stopped working there. The day I stopped working there. So, I was like, Oh, now you guys are making stink faces.
I'm not making a stink face. I'm disturbed.
This is my normal face. Thank you very much, though. That's fine. That's the one thing with my face is that I can just be normal, and everyone can interpret any emotion from it. They're like, "You're angry. You're pissed. You're sad. You're depressed. You're a little bitch."
Why
and I'm
is that
like,
making
"I'm
you
just
happy?"
sitting here. I'm just sitting. Leave me alone."
The fact that I'm crying is irrelevant to this
It's
conversation.
irrelevant.
The fact that I'm shaking and pissing myself is irrelevant to my emotions. This happens all the time.
You're like an
Oh my
old
God.
person.
I really am, honestly.
I was talking about the shaking and pissing, but, like, your personality is also an old person.
Just digging the hole deeper, dude. Daniel, I think you're a wonderful young man.
Thank you.
He's an old soul. That's a compliment, right?
Not really.
Uh-oh.
Have you seen old people? They're delusional.
I was gonna say, I like my grandma, but then she has, like, mega dementia.
Have you seen... Can we cancel old people? Enough sag, dude. Ugh.
Enough
No.
sag.
Legit, old people memes are the scariest thing I've ever seen in my
They
life. I don't know if you have
are.
old people on Facebook.
Oh my
It'll be a
gosh.
picture of like a rainbow, and it's like, does anyone make meat?
It's not a joke, it's just a genuine question.
It's just coincidentally during Pride Month, too, and they're like, wait, what? Why am I getting all these friend requests? Oh my gosh.
It's the weirdest thing.
That's why Facebook's the one thing that I've deleted, like, off my phone completely. Because you're right, it's either, like, the Minions wishing you a happy golden anniversary, or it's Trump taking your cock. I mean, it's just... There is no in-between.
There's no middle ground.
There is no middle ground.
Look at these cute little minions. Jeez, I hate minorities. Like, dog, what?
Yes,
What?
that's exactly how it is.
I can't wait for the next DreamWorks movie. And if you look at this Bible verse, it condones slavery. You're like, ah, what the fuck?
Do you guys, I don't know if you guys have a bunch of old people on social media, but I have a few. And there was this
My
thing going
pastime.
around.
Yeah, like my parents show me stuff.
Okay, so there was
Yeah,
this
plenty
thing
of
going
old
around.
people.
Lively might know about this, but some old person made a thing where they said, Instagram is changing their rights, so you have to paste this.
My parents yeah.
Oh,
My mom
no,
posted
Daniel,
that.
do
My
you know what
mom
this is?
posted it.
The old pass it on.
No,
Yeah,
Daniel, it was a whole block of text, and they were saying,
My
Instagram,
mom posted it.
you don't own any of my pictures. You don't own any
Yeah.
right to any of the
It
stuff
was
I
like, you
post.
have to
This is
say
what
it.
you have to say it yourself. And it was like at Instagram. It was the dumbest
Yeah,
And if
thing.
you
my
say it,
mom
then
did
they're
that
like,
with
well,
Facebook.
shit, they said it. So what can we
We
do?
can't take their pictures.
Mr. Zuckerberg, there's nothing we can do. We can take their cocks.
I was so embarrassed. Like, I saw it.
Sorry.
I saw it like a week after she posted it. We can.
Please subscribe.
I do not consent to you taking my pee-pee anymore.
I remember my mom got mad though. She messaged. She's like, "Hey, did you post that thing on Instagram?" And I'm like, "What thing?" Because I didn't know about it.
No.
And she's like, you were supposed to post this thing, or else they're gonna take your pictures." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, me, at a park, they're really gonna do so much with like, I don't know, I don't care. It's fine." They
There's
can
his
take it.
homework. We can take it now.
We can take it.
Here's 6 pictures of my dog. Oh.
I didn't hear this, but I feel like those things pop up all the time where it's like, pass this on, and if you don't, God hates you, and Instagram will take all your pictures.
Like this picture if you're for Jesus. Ignore if you're for the devil.
devil.
Ignore if you like Satan.
In other news, did you guys ever check your spam email? It's odd. I just checked it today.
Yeah, it's scary.
I check it. I never have anything.
There was a girl sending me her knockers, and she's like, "Send me $500," and you could see them, and I'm like,
Oh, so you're getting like personal spam.
"Yeah."
See, this is what happens when you're hot enough. You can get personal spam. I just get the general
No,
spam.
and it's like, "Send me $500. Here's the link," and it's like a link this long. It just goes for lines and lines.
Oh.
I'm like, okay.
It's in like Russian letters. You're like, oh my gosh,
Sick.
I'm
You know
clicking
that
on.
one guy that I've talked about? He accidentally shot himself. Like, he had his gun in his waistband and accidentally shot himself.
Give us the story, because anyone
Oh.
listening will be like, "What?"
I don't have a story on it. I know that I've known him since elementary school. He's a Trumpy boy. He's got
Okay.
a
Of course.
great neck beard. He's a
Oh.
great guy, right?
Chin strap.
It kinda, yeah.
There it
hangs
is.
down. Yeah. It's yeah, and so he posted on Facebook, and like his profile picture's not very good. He's got his neck beard, he's got his MAGA hat on in it, and then
He's
he's
wearing
like, I really
sunglasses.
just regular glasses. Regular
So
glasses.
close, so close.
Yeah.
What, you thought you knew him? What is this?
No, all the Trumpies have the beard, the hat, and
Yeah,
then
I
they have
know
these
what you're
reflective
talking about.
sunglasses. It's amazing.
And the Confederate soap bottle, am I right?
And the soap bottle.
Call back.
Call back. And if you don't know what that is... Anyway, moving on. I forgot that we're doing... Yeah, that was... If you're on the audio, that was just 2 seconds of... You're like, what happened?
What happened?
I gotta
don't talk
know.
about it.
Was it a shit story? What did I miss?
It was a
I'm so interested. Yeah. Anyway, continue about this guy that shot his dick off. What was it?
No, he shot himself in the stomach, almost died. Yeah, basically me and my friends all thought that he was shot by, like, a minority, just because of, like, how he talks to people. So, anyways, he wears a kilt a lot. He's interesting.
Like
I'm not gonna talk too much shit about him.
So he's a Scottish Trumpy.
I don't know if he's even
funny.
Scottish, actually.
If you vote for Biden, you're voting for your cock getting taken right off there.
I think he just thought they were
Alright,
manly.
thanks.
Like in elementary. In elementary school, his mom was like a PTA mom, and she used to kiss him on the lips, and they would kiss for like 10 seconds with tongue. It wasn't like just a peck. We were like 6th graders, so we're like 12, and yeah, they were like full on making out, and everyone's like,
where'd you learn how to make out? My mom.
My
mom.
And they kiss for like 10 seconds, everyone's quiet, and then they get done, he's like, have a good day, Mum. You have a good day, son. Don't let the Liberals take your cock.
Yeah.
Wears his kilt and then just plays the bagpipes in the homeroom.
Crying, dude.
I need a Scottish Trump Facebook page now.
I
need to meet them.
I seriously
Let's do
don't even
scouting
know if
one day.
Scottish.
Just playing
We'll
Star
find
Spangled
it.
Banner on bagpipes.
I bet there's someone out there.
There has
honestly.
to be.
I
If you
know
can
there
think of
is,
someone,
there
they
is.
exist out there. I
They
can assure you
exist.
that.
It's rule 91.
Is it
Right.
91?
No, I made that up.
No. I don't. I used to remember the rules of the internet. I don't even know.
You did?
I'm so sad. Yeah.
Oh, he was a cool guy. He was an epic memer.
Yeah, Daniel, do you not know the rules of the internet?
I don't know.
Look up
I
Rule
don't-
34 later. You'll have a blast.
Okay, I will. Oh boy. I'll do it on incognito.
You know what? Don't.
Yeah, please don't. No,
Okay,
no,
is it that
no,
bad?
no,
No.
Oh,
boy.
yes. So this kid also looked a lot like his mom. So it's basically like just two people kissing, looking like themselves. One had like a neck.
Well, the
beard,
issue isn't the looks. The issue is that's your mom.
They both had kilts, they both had mustaches.
Yeah. Well, you know, they kind of did.
Alright.
All right. So.
Did you just... I don't think any of this stuff happened to you, because every story gets even weirder, and I think you've just been in a coma and you had all
Also,
these dreams.
the mom had a stash. Also, they were playing the bagpipes. Also, they kissed with tongue.
Also, he shot himself in the stomach. Also, he wore a kilt. Also, he was a Trumpy. Also...
Yeah.
I got robbed.
Yeah, but like those bots would comment on his Facebook, like they DM him and they just be like, "Hey, like you're sexy. Send money for boob." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I need to change my profile picture, guys. I think I'm too hot. Check out these messages I'm getting." And like he genuinely just thought they were real women.
That's
And
depressing.
we were like,
No one told him.
About
Yeah,
that.
no one
I
said
I wouldn't
anything.
tell him. I'd let him brag
Nobody
about
said
it.
anything. We were just like, "Oh man." He was an interesting guy. He'd always wear shirts that were like,
Liberal
they'd have like
tears.
Bible verses on the back, and
Oh.
then like
Oh.
yeah, and then like an American flag on the front. I remember there was one where it was like vegetarian. It's like Native American for like pussy or something like that, like for being unable to hunt yourself or something like
Yikes.
that. And I'm like, oh man, this guy.
What a guy.
He's cool. He's cool.
Oh,
What's better than this? Couple of guys being dudes.
Go,
Couple of guys
yeah.
being dudes.
I worked with him at the church, so
Oh,
He was a
boy.
holy man.
well, he wants to be a priest, actually.
And you wonder why these stories come out. So I thought it was a red flag when my priest was wearing a kilt and kissing his mom, but you know,
Tongue.
I confessed anyway, and then one thing led to another.
Yeah.
You know, I confessed to the priest about my sins, and he started giving me a speech of how I'm Hispanic. We tend to do more sins. What's that about?
That sounds exactly like something he would
Quick
say.
question.
You don't even understand. That's like, oh my god.
He's got that on a shirt. That's a Bible verse. The Hispanics sin more.
Hispanics, not too good.
Not too good.
On a shirt.
That's it.
Oh
You know
my
what he
gosh.
would? One of my best
John,
friends.
1236.
She's Mexican, and we've known this guy since we were in elementary school, and they're just like they've always had beef since the beginning of time. Like,
Oh.
he was the worst, and he's just like, you know what, you're different. I'm gonna try to irritate you every time I possibly can. And then, she has very strong opinions, so they would argue all of the time. It was great.
Why am I not surprised?
I like how you followed up with, it was great.
It was, I mean...
Because why wouldn't it be?
Honestly, though, I can back up Lively on this, because back in college, I had ethics class.
Oh, I thought you were going to say ethnic girlfriend. I was like,
Oh,
wow.
boy. Back in college, I had ethnicity, and then I lost
Then it just flew out of my face. No, I had an ethics class, and it was led by a priest, and there was an atheist girl with blue hair in there, and they'd argue every single day.
I love that. That's a movie right there.
Yes. See? That's, like, really similar. Yeah.
It was to the point where we were trying to, like, learn a lesson, and she'd be like, actually, I disagree with this. This is misogynistic. And some kid in the back, no clue who this kid was, but God bless him, he'd be like, oh my God, shut up!
It was me.
Shut up!
That's so
The priest
funny.
would want to laugh, but they'd argue every day. The one thing that they fought about for, I think, the whole entire class is...
Oh, great. Here we go.
There was an old silent film, I don't remember the name, but the joke is the guy's in an airplane and he's trying to help out Africans, so he takes packages and he just throws them out the plane. It's not even like a joke, but I guess in the 30s it killed. She stood
Great.
up.
We
She
probably just
stood up.
unknowingly brought up something that has deep racist roots. Thank you.
No, it's literally innocent.
You don't
But
know the guy playing African package thing?
He's literally just
Damn
throwing
it.
it onto Africans to kill them.
The girl
Thanks,
stood up
Juliana.
and she's like, okay, I didn't say all that now.
I didn't say all that.
Moving on.
No, so the girl stands up and she goes, hey, I don't agree with this. And he's like, what's wrong? And she goes, well, first of all, it's factually incorrect. And he goes, how so? And she's like, you can't stand in a plane and just have it open while you're flying and chuck out packages. And we're like,
Isn't it a joke?
it's a silent film, a comedy from the 30s. Do people care about if it's factual? And she starts getting mad at all of us. She's yelling and calling people out. It was the worst thing.
Calling people out. Calling who out? For the silent
The class, because we watched it. And she goes, because you're not speaking
film? You're
out
all
against it.
sheep!
You're not speaking out.
No,
about
she didn't. She didn't call us sheep, but she goes, "You're part of the problem," and she's calling us out for not.
Part of what
speaking
problem?
up.
The problem of people standing in planes in the movies in the 30s?
Yes. Yes.
God,
You're supporting
It was awful.
inaccuracy.
Sounds absolutely hilarious.
it was the worst.
One time I was in a freaking cheesecake factory, and this
The
has to do
Cheesecake
with
Factory or
the
a cheesecake. Okay.
a cheesecake factory.
Well, which one?
It's near Seattle.
The restaurant or the factory? Which one?
Oh, the
Are
restaurant.
you actually asking? Can you get to the factory? Was that a real question?
Yes.
Is
I'm
there
sure
a
there is
Cheesecake
one.
Factory?
Yes. Why do you think the name exists? It's the main one.
I can't even tell if you're punking me or not.
I am punking you. I don't know. I'm pulling that out of my
Okay, I was
ass. Go
gonna
on.
say, I'm so damn gullible. Silly me for trusting my friends.
The fact that if you're questioning if it's real, it's probably not, Daniel. just
Thanks,
a word of the
Mom.
wise.
Anyway. Thanks.
Yeah,
Daniel
so this
becomes
has
an atheist. Every episode here on out, he's just miserable. Just
You guys are like, Daniel, what do you think? I'm like, nothing matters.
doesn't matter.
We're all gonna die alone, and nothing will
that's
happen.
it.
You'll just expel your last breath into the void, and that's it. Why am I even here?
So this guy was super alt-right, right? Okay, and,
Nice.
yeah. He was, like, screaming in the restaurant about how Africa, they're not doing enough with their land, and if they would just give it to us, we could do so much more. And I'm like, and then we were trying to argue with him, and we're like, don't you think that they would just use those opportunities if the land, like, you could actually utilize it? And then he's like, no, we need to make infrastructure there. We need to just take over Africa. And I'm like, you do know there are, like, cities in Africa, right? And he's just, like, screaming in the Cheesecake Factory. And we're like, can you not? And people are, like, turning.
In the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
the
philosophy
funniest part.
major. And he's like, okay, change the subject. What would you do if there was a train and you could pull the track
Oh
to
my
turn the... And I'm like, oh,
God.
this freaking
What
guy.
would you do if you could pull the lever on the train and it diverts
Yeah.
from 4 people and it goes and hits Africa? What would you do, huh? What would you do? Point taken. I win. I win
That
the
was, like,
conversation.
exactly-
Bring me
oh
my
my
fucking chocolate chip cheesecake.
Get owned, liberal.
Get punked,
owned.
you liberal scum.
Dude, that's how he is.
Is this the same Scottish person?
No.
That makes it even better.
Yeah,
Guy in a kilt in the
There's
Cheesecake
multiple.
Factory screaming about taking over Africa.
This
We're
guy's
gonna
the
march in
worst.
there!
This
Sorry.
guy I'm talking about, he went to a very liberal college in Beeham, Washington. It's like more of like an artsy school, and like, you know, he's studying like poli-sci and philosophy because, you know, you can do so much with those. So like
Sorry to our one follower. That's their major.
Just
I'm sorry.
What the
unsubscribe.
fuck is this?
Okay, that one person is
Great.
probably much more likable than this person. This guy's like he was a borderline Nazi for a while. He actually had a Hitler haircut for a while, like just because he thought it made him look cool.
And you
Right?
think that's borderline?
He wasn't like
You're like, look, guys, I don't want to put this guy in a bad light, but he had a Hitler haircut and mustache. Now, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to paint him in a bad light, but
Now, his mustache only grows under his nose, but, I mean, he might be a good guy.
I have a photo of him doing the Nazi salute in the Korean restaurant.
Very cute,
And,
okay.
Yeah, he's a great
like
he's
it
a great
matters
guy.
he's in a Korean restaurant. He could have been doing it at the fuking Taco John's.
You
It's
know,
still
he did
still a Hitler
He did
salute.
it all the time, actually. He really did, and that was just
Okay.
the one time I caught it. So he's so he's a great guy. I saw yesterday because you guys made me make an Instagram, right? I saw him and I was like, let me look at his Instagram.
You mean an Instagram for the podcast that's now on
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Continue.
And I saw his Instagram, and it turns out it looks like he finally lost his virginity as a 23-year-old because he's got a goth GF, and now he's pretending to be a liberal. And it's really funny to me. It's hilarious.
He's pretending to be a liberal to
Yeah,
bang the
like-
goth chick.
Yeah, like
Good for him.
He cut me like yeah.
Imagine pretending to be a liberal.
He was literally run. I feel like it's so hard for him. Like, he actually cut me and my friends off because I think he didn't want us to expose him.
Oh,
And
really?
like he was like you're toxic, and then I sent him a bunch of pictures of him like saying that, like I sent a video of him saying the N-word, talking shit about minorities, doing the Nazi salute after that, and I was like, yeah,
That's
I am.
different.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm trying to move away from that, and I'm like, bro, that was 2 years ago. You can't say that was.
that was 20 minutes ago.
Bro, that was yesterday at the Cheesecake Factory.
Seriously, and then like he was run out of his I mentioned he is at a local
Yeah.
college. He was run out of there by Antifa. Like, actually, they put posters of him everywhere, and they're like, do you know you're going to a school with a Nazi? And he was literally
Absolutely
run out of
hysterical.
there. It was so funny to me.
I didn't know
So
that stuff
funny.
actually happens. You said that so casually, and I was just like, oh,
It
okay,
was so
Antifa
funny.
does that.
He's that guy in high school who was like very into me. He told me I had the childbearing hips. That guy.
You say this like everyone listening knows what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they're like,
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody-
another
okay.
stalker, and this guy's also a gigantic
I-
creep? Ah, okay.
I
Cool.
have too many stories about that guy to get into it on.
Yeah, you
like,
really do.
So many.
alright, we'll do
I'll
a 5-part
mention him.
series, it's fine.
I'll mention him over time. He asked me for nudes pretty much every day. He was great. Never
Who
got
said
them.
romance was dead?
Yeah, and then when I was gonna go on a date, he was like, this is your last chance to send him to me. If you ever wanna, I'm friends with the guy. If you ever wanna, like, send him my way to get him approved first, I
I'm
know what he
friends
likes."
with the guy.
Yeah, it was actually his best friend.
To get them approved?
I know what he likes, just send them my way.
And
We're gonna veto this one.
It's pretty solid.
We're gonna say this one's about a 4, but you could have done better lighting there.
Yeah. Like, I had a chemistry class
Crowds.
with him.
It just sounds like a political campaign. Vote for
You know
boobs.
what?
2020.
boobs.
Get them approved.
The
Send
thing
them
is,
over
like,
here.
Like, I always was so confused why he wanted to go into politics, because I'm like, literally everyone was gonna hate you, and we have so much dirt on you.
They would
like,
love
you're-
him. They
Yeah.
would love him.
But now that he's
Look, and now
pretending to
that
be-
we've seen what's happened the past 8 years, he can
Like,
fucking do it.
he would make fun of trans people all the time, and then I saw he posted something where he's like, if this doesn't make you uncomfortable, and it's just a girl in a hoodie, and it's like, then this shouldn't make you uncomfortable, and then it's a guy in a dress, and I'm like, this is very funny, because this is the complete opposite of what you used to be. So, but now he's got the goth big titty GF, so he has to be like that, so it all makes sense now.
You can just see him, like, sitting there with his girlfriend, like, punching his dick and be like, I care about the fucking environment and global warming!
That's how I
Breaking
imagined
holes
him,
through
though.
walls.
Yeah.
Girlfriend! Environment!
The polar ice caps are melting.
The polar bears are alive. Dying.
He asked out every single one of my friends. Like, no joke. Every single one of them at one point. Like, in middle school, he bullied me. Like, I always wore super baggy clothes, and then the one day I didn't wear baggy clothes, he was like, dude, you look so skinny, it's disgusting. And I was like, wow, I have an eating disorder. And he was so mean. Yeah, he was the worst kind of human, like, genuinely. So, I hope you watch this, dude. I really hope you do.
Yeah, and if you're watching this right now, fuck you.
Yeah.
Hey, you
I want
probably
it.
smell like hot dogs. Get bent.
You probably smell like hot dogs.
Donate to our Patreon, where we're going to use all the money to go on a road trip and just beat the kneecaps out of all these people we've mentioned today.
You know, like, he asked me out so many times, I ended up feeling bad for him, and I, like, went through a breakup.
No, that's the
No,
opposite.
I eventually said yes, because I was friends with him, and I was like, sure. And then you know what he does? He was like, I'm home alone, come over. I'm home alone, come over. I'm home alone, come over. Let's see where it goes. And I'm like, well, okay, you literally blew it. We're never going on a date now. And then he told everybody I let him on. And I was like, dude, I didn't even agree to it being a date. I agreed to hanging out with you. And my plan ultimately was to just say the date didn't go well. Kill him. Was to just say the date didn't go well so that, like, he could just stop asking me. And just say, like, yeah, I'm not into you, bro. Like, nope. He's great. He's a great
Your
guy.
life really is the worst.
Yeah, like,
I
one
understand why girls say men are trash.
No, I completely 100% agree. I think it's hilarious when people get offended at that. I'm like,
dude,
what are you gonna fucking do? What are you gonna fucking do about it? Like, I don't get it.
I just remember one time in chemistry, I was, like, turning in a paper, and he's like, your pants, they're nice. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, your ass looks really great in them. Your ass looks really big. Your ass looks really fat. And it's just in front of everyone in the class. And, like, I was just so uncomfortable and so embarrassed. Like, I was like, I look big? And he's like, no, just your ass. It goes straight to your ass. And I'm like...
In front of the class?
Yeah, in front of the class. And I just, like, literally was saying nothing. And he's like, dude, take a compliment. Like, you have a great ass. And I'm like...
What did the teacher say? Did no one try to stop him?
That teacher was actually really interesting. He sat there and listened to Skyrim music all day. He never gave us a single lecture. And the one time he did, he was...
You're making this up!
No, he sat
I
there
learned
and
nothing in that class. We just
No, I
sat and
didn't learn a
observed
single
Skyrim.
The teacher's just singing in the corner. Hasn't
This is
spoken
not
a
a
word in
joke.
4 years. He's
It's
in the
not
corner
a
like...
He's
Just has long hair and a ponytail,
Just
goes down to his
drooling,
waist.
Yeah, he was like an old balding man. And he would also listen to the Game of Thrones, like, soundtrack. And, like, he just video game music and, like orchestrative stuff, right? Yeah, so, like, he was like an old man, and every time people asked him a question, he was like, I'm 3 years past retirement. And we're like, why are you here? Why are you here? I didn't learn thing.
Are you gonna start talking or teach us anything? I'm 3 years from retirement, you sack of shit.
You know what? The one time he gave us a lecture, somebody was like, sir, you did that calculation wrong, and he threw up his pencil in the air. He threw it so hard it went into the ceiling and stuck. And then he's like, "That's it."
He threw up.
No,
That's wrong.
Impossible! Impossible! Yeah, and he got so mad. He just was like, "That's it. I'm done. After one person correcting him, he said, I'm done. He opened the door and left the classroom, and there were still 45 minutes of class left, and everybody just sat there, and we were like,
wait.
He
Was
never
this in
came
college
back.
or high school?
High school. He never came back. It was actually a college class.
He never came back ever, or never came back that day?
That was the turning point. He couldn't take it anymore.
That was the last time we ever saw that guy.
He came back, and then, like, the next day, he came back, and he was just sitting there grumbling.
I came back for my Skyrim music.
He came back with a gun.
Dude, he would, though. He would.
He came back with a sword.
He just was...
I came for the cocks of every liberal.
Every liberal. He hated being there so much that he just would have substitute substitutes half of the time. And this was actually a class that you would get college credit for. Like, it was a University of Washington class that they offered at the high school. And he never taught us. He just was like, oh, there's like a thing online you can do to get the credits for the class.
So you guys just got immediate credits?
No, you had to do it. I think only 2 of us in the entire class got credit for it. So, because you didn't teach us anything.
You paid extra for the college credits, didn't you?
Yes, you did. Yeah. So after high school, after I graduated, because this was my senior year, I spent 2 weeks straight just teaching myself the entire course of intro chemistry.
Nice. A good thing to do on your own, as one does.
It took probably about like 65 hours to complete the course because he never taught us anything. So
I wish I had
crazy.
Interesting teacher story. I don't even have that. Our algebra teacher told us a story of her teacher, and she was like, "Yeah, the drug dogs would always come by randomly every couple weeks, and he would see them out the door, and he would climb out the window in that classroom and wouldn't come back till they were gone." And I was like, "You could do that back in the day? You could just imagining, can you imagine your teacher? I mean, the windows are high in school. So that means you just full on scaled the wall, climbed out the window, and you're just left in the room by yourself until they come back. It's a little terrifying. I don't know.
I was the yearbook editor at my school.
Oh, good.
And so during lunch, sometimes I just wouldn't take lunch and I would just continue editing stuff because people were really poo-poo at their jobs. So that's where all the teachers would hang out in this like classroom I would do the work in. And all the history teachers would come in there. And one day, this like huge guy, he used to be my golf coach, he grabbed one of the small teachers and just dangled her out of the window, and it's like actually 3 stories. Like, he was just dangling her by her feet.
Again, you say 3 stories like that makes any fucking difference. He dangled a person out a window.
And she straight up was like yelling at kids in the parking lot and was like, "Stop vaping!" And she was just like dangling by her feet.
Oh, so there was a reason. I thought he was
they were
just
doing
like,
it together.
you know what? Yeah.
I mean, it's not really a reason, but
well,
I guess
it's better than just like, hey, come here.
They were in cahoots together to stop vaping? This was their plan?
Yes.
Okay, that's so much better than, I thought you were just like, he just dangled a woman out a window. And I'm imagining her, instead of calling for help, she sees someone vaping, she's just like, "Stop vaping!" Like,
yes,
that's just what,
she did.
Dangling for
hilarious.
life, and you can't help but tell the kids to
somewhere.
stop vaping. Oh my gosh.
Always super interesting. That golf coach also hated me because, like, he wanted me to go to the, like, golf tournament, and I was like, no, I gotta focus on my college classes. And so, like, I just didn't go to the last couple meets. And
How dare you?
Yeah, and he was so
fucking
pissed.
Dare you focus on your fucking future, you piece of shit.
Yeah, he
Golfing
was like,
is life.
Yeah, he was like, we don't have anybody good enough to go to the jamboree. And I was like, I don't want to. I genuinely don't want to go, so I'm gonna just, like, forfeit my last couple matches so I can't qualify. And he was super mad. And then, like, I remember one day he came into the yearbook room, and then he's like, "Oh, look, a bunch of my golfers are in here." And he gave us, like, he was handing out cupcakes to them, and he's like, "Look, we got some extra, here you go." And then he saw me and my friend, and we were on the golf team, and she also, like, she was like the homecoming princess or whatever, and she went to get her hair done instead of going to the last meet. So he was pissed at both of us, right? At this point, and he just threw the garbage at us. And he's like, "Here, this is what you guys can have, because this is what you are." And we were like, "Oh, hot dang."
Did no one do anything about that?
No. Spicy.
I don't know why I'm surprised after all the shit I've heard. That's absolutely terrible.
That guy
That's like
was
the mildest thing we've heard today.
Yeah,
He
no
was a
kidding.
very
This doesn't even
interesting
surprise
guy.
us anymore. We're like, garbage thrown at people?
Okay.
Okay,
He would just
that's
go
not the
on
worst thing I've
tangents.
ever heard, so stop complaining.
Did he get robbed?
Anyway, did he get robbed? Did he shit himself? I don't think so. So, move it on.
He would go into tangents all the time. Like, one time at golf, he's like, "Let me pull you guys in here, okay? A little pep talk. I don't care about, like, what you guys identify as. I know there's a lot of lesbians on this team, alright?
Good.
You know what? I used to be homophobic. And then one day I went to a bar. Turned out it was a gay bar, and a man hit on me, and I realized they're not so different than us."
Wow. I applaud the white person. I just thought he was going to be like, "I was homophobic once, and then one day, I sucked a cock." Just straight up
Yeah,
sucked
I
a
did.
cock.
And
you know what?
changed my
It's not so different. I mean, it's pretty different, but I mean, it's not a bad thing.
it's not.
Like,
it's
where
not
is he
bad.
going with this?
It's like my wife's vagina, but more dick.
But more dicky, you know?
More dicky, you know? On that note, we're at about an hour and a half, so we should shout out our first and only patron.
I wonder why.
So, shout out to Turntable Troglodyte. I had to look it up because
Turntable troglodyte.
I thought troglodyte was some kind of an old slur, so I had to look it up beforehand. I was like, can I shout this out? What does this mean?
Can I?
And so I also told this person that they can, so one part of the tier is of the many things that they can send us a note that we'll read on the podcast.
Okay.
I haven't read it yet. I'm a little worried. So here we go. This was the message they sent. Love the podcast, guys. Keep up the good work. Ye are doing here. Can't wait to hear more human waste consumption stories in the future. Well, here you go. It keeps going.
Woo!
Okay, he or she's got a question. Would you rather live in a place with 4 stairs all leading to one tiny closet, or have one wide but short staircase that leads down 3 stories that have crackhead Jared Leto living down there?
Okay, hold on. Let me think about
Can I
this.
beat up Jared Leto?
Which option doesn't have Jared Leto sending condoms and rats? I choose that
So
one.
option A.
Option A. I
Wait,
might
okay.
wanna
What was
go with
the first one?
Would you rather live in a place with 4 stairwells all leading to one tiny closet, or have one wide but short staircase that leads down to a basement with crackhead Jared Leto?
Okay, what's in the closet? Is it also
Yeah,
Jared
is it
Leto?
just a
It
closet?
doesn't. They both just lead to Jared Leto.
Damn it!
Would you rather go upstairs to Jared Leto or downstairs to Jared Leto? I'd rather stay where I am.
The closet one is Joker Jared Leto.
I wish this thing was like
just throwing them
interactive.
at you.
I wish this was a choose your own adventure. You're like, I guess I choose the closet. Jared Leto. Fuck!
Have you guys seen American Psycho? I'd like to
Hold
do
on.
like
It continues.
American Psycho to Jared Leto, like with a chainsaw and
Oh my
chop
gosh.
up Jared Leto. Have you not
'cause
seen
he's
that
in
movie?
No, yeah, sorry. I thought you were just saying you want to do that to him.
I
forgot
do.
he's in
That's
that
what I
movie.
was saying. That's exactly what I
Stop.
was implying.
We don't need him coming after us.
You know what? I'd like Jared Leto coming after me. I think I could take him.
Lively's gonna die.
After the stories you just told us, of all the stuff that people did to you, and you were like, well, I didn't really, want to do anything. Damn, you got guns, girl.
Yeah, I went climbing yesterday.
Welcome to the gun show.
I don't have any muscle.
The muscle goes downward.
Yeah.
Little Scooby-Doo sound. Okay, the message continues. As I'm typing this, I am witnessing a toddler with a mullet pedaling by on a tricycle. And now I want to cry. This is not the first, but the second time I've seen a mulleted toddler in my life. I'm questioning society, and now I feel queasy.
They're really making a comeback, though. They
I
genuinely
love this person.
are.
I love
Yeah?
this person
Yeah.
so
Does
much.
this person
got-
want to be on here? They can come on here one day.
They will. In 3 years, when they're still our only patron, we're like, man, do you want to come on here?
You want-
man,
you
woman?
you've given us so much money.
You've given
You just
us-
wanna hop on a call.
Thank you for the $100 a year. Thank God.
Thank you. You're the only one supporting me in my life. Before I started this today, I was like, Mom, please don't come in. I'm gonna be recording. And she just let out a really big sigh and then went into a lecture.
And
She's really-
that about sums it up for our podcast.
Yeah,
I just got a
she's
text.
really-
I just got a text that said, I got a text that said, hello, would you allow Dasani bottled water to put a small sticker on your car, truck, or motorcycle? Get
How much money?
$500.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I'm going to
Yeah.
respond, ew, Dasani.
Ew, the sun.
This podcast is
Just
sponsored by
respond to ear
Dasani.
water. Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone rags on Dasani. I really don't. I like him. I don't know.
It
It's-
tastes syrupy, fizzy, acidy.
It really
tastes-
doesn't. No,
it
that's-
does. It does.
You're drinking acid. You're literally drinking battery acid, and you're like, I don't like the. Well, you don't. You're allergic to water. We've been over this.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, ew, water.
Sorry.
I
Ew,
drink one
water.
of these, at least one Dr. Pepper a day.
Ew.
And your pee is also black, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't really
This
brag
is like
about
the color
that.
of it. Like,
I'm peeing out concrete sludge. Is that where is that on the piss scale?
where is that on the piss?
Everything is a callback.
Square one, and that's all this is gonna be. Every episode is just gonna be a line for line repeat of the previous.
Walkie slide.
What?
Remember when we did that at a funeral? I want to die.
Please
I
like,
can't even finish the
Please
bit.
subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe to our Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to...
My poop app.
Nope, this is a good time to wrap it up. Yep. So you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/pequeñopod. And you can find us on any free music, and just any podcast music app, and just type it in. It'll be there, except for SoundCloud, because fuck SoundCloud. Just kidding.
Unless they pay us.
Please pay for my future. Dasani and SoundCloud, I beg you.
What if I want to be a mumble rapper?
I'll take anything at this point. I'm a slut for whatever app wants to sell me out. Please join the Poop app today. Sponsored by your shit around the country. For every 5 shit pictures we get a $1 donation.
Woo!
We plant a tree.
We plant a tree, and we fertilize it with your feces.
Oh, it's just like the worst version of Mr. Beast. We're like the really shit YouTubers. We're like, we're gonna make 20 million trees with human shit.
Woo!
What? Who are these people? Sponsored by the Poop app. Yeah.
I really need to stop talking about
We
poop.
really do. We just need to stop talking in general. So,
It's over.
thank you, everybody. And yeah, follow Nick and myself on YouTube. I'm under Señor Pequeños. Follow my TikTok, even though it won't make any damn bit of fucking difference because the algorithm hates my absolute guts. Please sponsor me, TikTok. Anyway. And have a beautiful day. Goodbye.